Hi, this is Tony Hayes again for Paranormal Investigation UK. This is movie 193B. This is the second part of a review of some audio from the chest investigation. In the first part, there's an unusual sound. Let's just play that back so you can see yourself what it sounds like. Very metally distinctive sound. Now what the EQ I'm actually using is a 31 band, sorry, not a 31 band, you know, band 0 to 20,000 hertz. We tend to not get involved with anything that's about 10,000 hertz. Now what I have got is a series of sound samples when I tested the acoustics of the building back in August of 2020. This particular EQ can do two things. You can have like the real time, so you won't see anything until the actual sound is emitted, as you'll see now. You see this big spike occur there, and again. Or you can go into average. This is useful because it sort of in a way freezes the frequency for you, gives you a much better, stronger idea. So play that again. There you go, and it just sort of freezes it, holds it in that position. Now what I will tend to do now is I will use what they call the window sniping tool. So I can get out of that and sort of in a way screenshot, make an image of that particular frequency. There we go. If you actually make files, particularly when you're made to refer back to them later, name them which is something relevant. So on this one we can put movie 193 metal sound empty room, and we can put the yesterday's date, which is when it happened. So it was the 11th of December, it was 2020. Information. It certainly helps you later trying to retrieve anything, particularly when you're beginning to use words to search. So we'll save that to the desktop. So we've now got something to compare. I'm just going to stop that. I'm actually now going to do we need this? Possibly not, actually. In fact, what I can do is delete this. Copy that. What I'll do is just going to paste that section in there because that's what we're interested in. What I'm now going to do now is bring in a new audio track. I'll leave that there. That's be handy for us. We're going to need that. And this is the sound test we did in August, I think it was. This is this particular one because I listened to it before. Basically what I did, I went around and did 360, 180 sound samples. This is striking an object with some paranormal noises. There is various theories that it's a projected sound. Others, like a small explosion, it's occurring, it's not a direct strike as is what we would do. Well, we're unable to project sound, so we have to use the nearest equivalent, which is going around hitting objects at different strengths, getting the sampling the audio and coming up with the frequency, which is what we did. These are used numerous different sound devices. Roland R26 record, Olympus one, together with this one, which is the actual camera one. which is a camera which recorded this other sound previously a couple of days ago. Right, okay, so that's what we're actually going to be doing. I do talk for some time, and then you will start to see these. You can see the impacts there. Now what should happen with this camera is that what if the sound is around about 35 to 40 foot away, camera 3 does not pick it up at all. It has to be further than that before it begins to indicate a sound. So initially you may hear a voice in the distance, which is me talking, and then it gets closer as the closer I get towards the camera, and then the microphone begins to pick it up then, and the sound is recorded. And because we're using the analyzer, and what we're actually going to be doing is comparing like for like. In fact, I'll bring that up ready. We've got that to compare. So this is the frequency between, say, about 800, 700, really flatlining it around about 1500. So it's quite a tight frequency with little blips. These are tiny reflections of sound, because it's an empty building. So the intention is have we got something which is close to this? Right, that's the experiment we're going to complete. I think it's going to be relatively long, this, I think. Yeah, about 5.5 minutes. So okay, that's the okay. So, the Olympus is next to the small camera. Yeah, just me confirming. I'm actually going to put it on to average, real time I should say. It'd be interesting if any investigators out there that look to analyse audio. I'm not using any volume whatsoever, no volume increase. Okay, now what we can hear the first sound there. Okay, heard it there. Here we go. Small cabinet to the left hand side of the kitchen cabinet. Window ledge. Window ledge. Window. Geez, I'm quite close to Karen, about 10 or 15 feet away. It wasn't actually the Olympus recorder, this particular camera. Yeah. And what I realised with this camera, they're not as quite sensitive as you think they are. Which is not a bad thing, because at least you can begin to rule out outside interference, and it's just nothing. That is the sound that sounds similar. But you see the frequency, how different it actually is. Well done, I'm just going to take an image of that. Yeah. Something that's the closest we've heard up to now. Yeah, let's end of that one. So, yeah, that's the Olympus, which is actually sat next to the camera that we just tested. Found very little difference in the microphone, a little bit in the volume, but the microphone's performing very, very similar. Didn't make much difference. What I'm actually looking for is the R26. I think that's the one. '31st. Yeah. These are really big files. These. Okay. Yeah. Okay. when we look at these too, just make a folder for these. In there. Using quite a bit of software, things just begin to go a little bit laggy. That's probably the closest one of the actual metal pipes. In total there's over 160 sound samples that were taken using 3 different microphones, and it's just a question of just striking objects at different strengths. When I heard this is the actual sound that we recorded on that camera, that metal sound. 700. This is the main peak of frequency, and then what's happening then, this is the reflection from the ceiling, and these are reflections coming from the side walls, because it has to go back and then back forward to the microphone. That's what it's picking up. When you then look at that one there is quite intriguing, because that's 7 to 1,000, 7, 900, 2 distinct peaks there. There's one peak there, start of a second. It does sound like that metal pipe that's running through the air conditioning unit. This here on the one that was recorded yesterday, there's a little tiny bit of reflection. That is the one that I did using the same camera, same microphone on that camera, and at relative what we like on volumes. The volume is the line upwards, and if you look at the two volumes there, we're about minus 45, minus 45. So that's now suggesting that the volume is about right, the distance wise, and it appears to be the air conditioning unit what would cause that sound. We put back to the owner, what I'm interested in, what made the sound. It sounds metally, and I think we've confirmed it when we compare both of those frequencies, particularly the first one. That's the important one, and this is just reflections as it goes up, then it begins to peter away as reflection begins to lose velocity. Same hardly any reflection on that at all. But I'm confident enough in saying that it's that object, it's that metal girder that's caused that. I'm just going to recheck on what I actually said, because as I was doing the test experiments I did say what it was striking, so I've got something to refer back to later. And the advantage is that I wanted to just test out the acoustics of the building, kept the samples, and it's been quite useful because I can now compare side by side, and just to see if there's something in there that we may have recorded and have a general idea where it's come from. So hope that was useful. See you on the next video.